All right, this is live too. All right, yeah, there you go. Now that's better. Let me wipe this camera. Yeah, we are live on YouTube now. Let me try to be live, get live on Facebook as well. This look a lot better. YouTube, y'all probably be happy. All right, I'm gonna be live on Instagram. Hey, TikTok, bear with me. Instagram. Let me go live. All right. So let me go live on Facebook as well. Y'all probably Facebook. I'm trying to see who's up this late trying to watch this. Oh shoot. No. This needs to rotate. There you go. I don't know why I'm going this way. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. All right, let's see what y'all have a question on you Instagram. All right, today we're gonna do something very important. I've seen a lot of questions about this, and I think some of you guys are taking geometry. If this is your first time in our live, we normally do this every Tuesday. I think this is first time for Instagram and also first time on Facebook as well. We normally do this on TikTok and YouTube. So today this is what we're gonna talk about, and it took me a while to set this up. That's why I look sweaty. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Is a concept we get this a lot in geometry. So they give you two parallel lines, and also they give you a line that goes over it in the transversal, and they ask you to find the angles. So the angles that they're referring to are, this angle right here, and this one. Each one of them has, you can call them the name that you can name them however you want to. You can name this A, you could name this B. And then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so you name them the way you want to. Now, writing it this way is probably mathematically not correct because I'm assuming the way that I put it here, I'm saying all these angles are equal to each other, which we don't know yet. So now, what we're gonna do here is seeing all this, seeing the parallel lines, also the transversal. We're gonna see what angles are equal to each other. So we're gonna see if there's E is equal to F. Is that the case, or is it G and E? And we're gonna start with things that we already know. And the little thing that we're gonna start with is problem symbol. So we're gonna start with vertical angle. Let me see if you guys all see in the screen. TikTok. Let's see. She said he went math class. All right, let me see who else is seeing the screen. All right, you guys are seeing it. YouTube. I think you're seeing the screen too. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit for Instagram. So yeah. So let's go back. Somebody say this is not learning time. That's probably not learning time. But I'll tell you, the folks who are watching this, I'm sure they'll probably find some use out of it. And then it's also recorded too. So if you don't want to see it today, you can also see the recordings. So the first thing that we want to start with to find to find which one of these sets of angles are equal to each other. The first thing that we normally start with is what we call vertical angles. So now we know this is a given. These angles, the vertical angles, are equal to each other. So this angle right here is equal to this angle right here. So this is something that we start with and we normally know. So now the other way that you can think about this is think about if you had, let's say if you could fold this and put it back over, so if you could fold the ones that the bottom piece in red and put it back over here, it would land exactly on top of this right here. It would land exactly this way. And it's not something that normally, I don't even think that there's a proof for this. This is something that you accept. Say, okay, I mean you can prove it. Actually you can. If you take, the sum of this angle and this angle is 180, you can prove it that way. But if you don't know this, take it as a given. The vertical angles are equal to each other. So now the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go inside of this. We're gonna see which angles are vertical. So vertical means, this, and then this angle directly opposite to it. So we're gonna see which angles are vertical to each other. So we're gonna label them as equal. So A here and C are vertical angles. So I'm gonna label them this way with this red. So A and C are vertical to each other. So it's all vertical angles. So that means angle A is equal to angle C. Now let's go back. What about D and B? D and B are also vertical angles. So let's say with D and B are vertical angles. So that means D is equal to B. So we'll put that somewhere else. Say D and B are the same. Now let's go up here. So let's see which one up here are equal. So let's write these in another color. Let's say maybe this color. Maybe this green color that you probably won't see. H and F, according to what we say here, are vertical angles. H and F are vertical angles. And what I'm saying here, the reason why I'm saying those are vertical angles, if you think about this line here, if you think about this side and these two lines, think about this guy and this guy, it looks exactly the same way. It's just this one is upright, this one is kind of tilted. So this angle right here is equal to this angle. And that's what I'm saying. H and F are equal to each other. So H is equal to F. I said I was going to write this in green, and that's how it's supposed to go. H is equal to F. Now we're left with these two. E and G are equal to each other too. According to what we said, E and G are vertical angles. So G and E. E and G are also vertical angles. So we have 4 sets of angles that are equal. So now what we want to do is how can we relate to the ones at the bottom to the ones up top? So there are other stuff that we can say about here. So for example, what we're gonna see is, does E equal to A or does it equal to B? So this is what we're gonna see. So first, before I continue with that, let me see if you have any questions on any of the apps. So TikTok, you guys good? Let's see. Any questions here? All right, no question on TikTok. Let's see, Facebook. Zoom a little bit. I don't think you can zoom, Cliff. Andy Jones. Okay, I don't think you can zoom. Actually, you cannot. Let's see. Hey, Latoya, what's up? Manny, what's going on? Let's see what's going on. Hey, what's up, Julie? I normally go live a little bit earlier. When school starts, it will be a lot earlier. Who asked this question? When school starts, it will be a lot earlier. It will be a lot, probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Cliff, we cannot zoom closer. Let's continue what we're saying. So there's no question. So first thing that we did, we said, hey, vertical angles are equal to each other. So this angle here and this are vertical. So we look in the picture here, we go see it, hey, which one of these angles are vertical angles? So I see this angle here and this, the C and the A are vertical, the B and the D is vertical angles, F and H vertical, E and G also vertical. So we write those angles are all vertical angles. So now, this is what we're going to do. So this, you will see this referred to as corresponding angles. And they say, okay, corresponding angles are equal to each other. Now, the way I want you to think about this is, think about it, you have this line right here. If you slide it up, what does A become? So if I had this line, because there are parallel lines, the parallel lines, if they're on the same plane, because they are parallel lines, what if when you slide this up, it will still stay in the same direction, or still have the same slope. So what you want to do is, if you slide this up, what A is going to become here is this is going to slide all the way up here. So that's what they call those corresponding angles. So what really it is dot line A. If I slide it up, I'll slide it all the way up. So think about it, I'll do it, I'll draw it. Think about, that line, I call this line L. If I slide this line L all the way up, parallel in the same direction, finally it's going to get to here. So what's going to happen is, this angle here is going to end up here. So that tells you angle A is equal to angle E. And the way they call these angles, the way they refer to them is corresponding angles. So E and A are corresponding angles. So that means A is equal to E. So now, let's see what we know. So we know A is equal to E. Let me go somewhere else. We know, according to corresponding angles, A is equal to E. Now this is E, and E is also equal to G, A is also equal to C. So that means all four of these angles are equal or the same. So A, E, G, and C. All those four angles are equal to each other. And let's go back, let's go do the same thing for the other angle. So angle B right here. So think about, I'm sliding the line the same way. B, it's not going to be G, it's going to be all the way up, because B is all the way up. So that's the angle above the line. So this is the line, this is the angle above the line. So if I slide the line all the way up horizontally, it's going to become F. So what's going to happen is F is going to equal to D, which is, so what was F before that? So F is equal to D. F is equal to D. What was F equal to? F was equal to H. And D was equal to what? B. So that means all these four angles, those four angles are equal to each other as well. So what we saw here is, whenever you have two parallel lines in the transversal, you only really have two sets of angles. So these ones right here, the A, C, E, G, are the same. And H, F, D, B are also the same. So now they find out a name to name those, so they can't really just say, so how does this angle C really end up equal to this? They have a name for this. So these angles, the C and the E, they call those alternate and exterior angles. And you don't really have to know the names unless they give you that. And these angles, E and C, C and E are alternate exterior angles. And what about if I consider this angle D here and H? D and H, they call them alternate anterior angles. And this is, the name makes sense. They alternate, because if you think about this line, this was on this side, this was on that side. Alternate. The reason why they call these interior, because it's in between the two lines. Alternate interior angle. D and H, alternate interior. These, E and F, C and E, they alternate because they're on the opposite side of the transversal. This is on the right side, this is on the left side. And also, they're exterior because they're outside of those two lines. Because they're outside of this line, it's outside of this line. So, now, bottom line is, when you have a parallel line and transversal, what you have is really two sets of angles. Two sets of angles. It's A, C, E, G. That's one set. H, F, D, D, B. That's another set. Now, what we're going to do is, for you guys on TikTok, probably on YouTube too, you guys always have questions. So what we're gonna do is an example. That's how we always do it. So what we're gonna do is do an example. So I'm gonna give you two parallel lines on the same plane, and then a transversal that cut it, and I'm gonna tell you to tell me what those angles are. So got two parallel lines right here. I'm assuming this is almost parallel to this. So, and I got a line that cuts it. So let's think about a line that cuts it this way, right? So let's say this one is 54. Now, say I call this A. I want B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now remember, when we were doing the ones earlier, the reason why, we had B is equal to D, for example, is because the way we placed them. Oh, this is too close, kind of. So, let's see, what was the name of this? That was D, A, B, C, D, and then, okay, A, B, C, D, okay, this is H, this is B. Now, D was equal to B, so that might not be the case. So, who can tell me on TikTok, what's this angle? Let's start with the angle that are easier to find. The angles that are, vertical angles. Vertical angles, so if there's one here, whatever is on the opposite side of it is going to be the same. So here, A, what's the vertical angle to A? What's the angle that's vertical to A? Let me see what your answer is. All right, let's see TikTok. Who's smart? Vertical angle to A. All right, let's see. YouTube. Who can tell me what's the vertical angle to A? Let me see the comment. Vertical angle to A, yeah, that's what's up. Okay, India say A is equal to D, that's what. That's right. So India on Facebook, A is equal to D, yes, because they're a vertical angle. So basically what they say is saying, you have two lines that cross each other. Whatever angles right here is equal to whatever angles right here. So the same thing here. Whatever is here is equal to whatever is here. So A is equal to D. So A is equal to D, and that's equal to 54 degrees. So we have two angles. So we can replace this by 54, right? So now, what else? Are we stuck, or can we find more angles? So what about C and D and B? I mean, B and C, what about those? So who can tell me, let's start with C. Who can tell me what C is? Actually, we can find another angle. Let's start from vertical angle. Now we can find the corresponding angles. So corresponding angles, remember what I said, you start with a line, you draw the line down all the way. So whatever was here is gonna end up right here. So this angle is gonna end up equal to this angle. This angle right here is gonna end up equal to this angle. So think about this line moving up. If we move this line right here, let's call this line L. If we move this line L all the way up, what's gonna happen is, whatever is right here is gonna move all the way up, because it's above the line right here, it's gonna be above the line this way, and it's gonna be this angle right here. So what's the value of angle F? What is F equal to? How much is angle F equal to? Let's see who can tell me. I hope you guys are not letting one person go answer all the questions. So B equal to C. Yes, I understand that. So B equal to C. That's B is equal to C, because these are vertical angles. And also too, if we say the same concept by the same token, F is equal to E, H is equal to G. So these are vertical angles. These angles are equal because they're vertical angles. G and H, E and F A, and whatever was here, B and C. Now, I want to find the value of angle F. Let's start with angle F because it's a corresponding and not angle, not F. I meant angle H. Let's start with angle H. H is corresponding angle to angle A because what you think about is if you have this line right here, you drop it down. A is above the line. A right here is going to be above the line. It's the same thing, but in this case it's H. So what's the value of angle H? Let's see who asked me. TikTok. What's the value of H? Angle H. Yes. So Jess G24 on TikTok say H is equal to 54. So angle H is the corresponding angle to angle A. So H is equal to 54. Right? So now we found A, D, and H also equal to 54. So what's another angle that's equal to 54? So what's another angle that's equal to 54? We found this one, 54. We found this one, 54. We found this one, 54. Now there's another angle that's equal to angle H. And what's that angle? What's the other angle that's equal to 54? That's only one left. Let's see, Jess. Can you come to the rescue again, Jess? Good job, Jess, on TikTok. Jess G24. Good job on TikTok. I don't know why I'm not seeing the comments on YouTube. Probably because I'm using the tablet. Oh, they're just not popping up. Let's see. What's the other angle that's equivalent to what's the other angle that's 54? Hey. Latoya, I turn on every Tuesday. So because school about to start, it's gonna be a little bit earlier. So I'm saying between about 8:30 p.m. So when school actually starts, it's gonna be about 8:30 p.m. Latoya, this is interest for you. What is he taking currently? You say he's in 10th grade. What is he or she taking? Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, so the other angle that's equal to 54, Jess, is so this one is G because it's directly opposite to this, so that means it's a vertical angle. So G and H are vertical angles. Now we have other ones. So this one right here is E. This one is F. If you can't read the green, this one is C. This one is B. So the other angle that was 54 is G. Now we have almost all the angles that are 54. I mean, we have all the angles that are 54. Now what's the value of the other angles? So we got about 4 of them left. But remember I say there are 2 sets of angles. One set of 4 is going to be 54. There's another set of 4. They all going to have the same value. But what's the value of this? Now to do this, you can do this many ways. But the easiest way to do this is think about you have this line. There's an angle right here that's 54. There's an angle right here that we don't know. Because C is not part of any of these. C is not here. So what we're missing is BC, FE. So how much is this angle? So now think about when you have this line right here, and I'm going to rewrite that for you. Rewrite the line, redraw the line for you. Maybe I can erase this. And I'm trying to replicate this here. So what we have is a line that looks like this, and then the transversal cuts it this way. So the angle here, we know this one is 54. And we don't know that one. We don't know that one. And this one is C. So how do we find C? How do we find C? What properties that we can use to find C? What do you know about geometry that we can use to find angle C right here? So to find angle C, let me see who can tell me how much is angle C. And if you can tell me, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Jess, this camera is terrible. My fault. So angle C. All right, so angle C is, as you probably can tell, is, so if we have a line here, the sum of this angle plus this angle is 180 degrees. So what we have, if you had a protractor, you put it here, if you measure from here to here, it's 180 degrees. So this whole thing is 180, right? So we know this one is 54, so whatever is left belongs to C, right? So C, angle C, would be what? 180, the whole, everything, minus, what is the 54 that we have? So 180 minus 54, what does that give us? 180 minus 54. So is that 126, right? Yeah, 126. So C, angle C right here is 126. Now, tell me another angle that's equal to angle C. This angle here, opposite to C, is B. How much is B? Let me see. I'll give you guys 2 seconds for this, because it shouldn't be that hard. Jess, are you with me? Let's see who else is here. Okay, angle B is, as you probably say, yes. How much is angle B? Yes, 126. That's what's up. It's like Veronica. Yes. So 126. So C is 126. B is 126. C is equal to 126. B is equal to 126. And then which is equal to what? Now, let's go back. Let's go to this. So remember what I said about corresponding angles. So if we slide this line right here, go down, the C is going to be corresponding to F. The B is going to correspond to E. So that means what's the value of B and angle? I mean, not B. Yeah. What's the value of E and F? How much are those? E, angle E, and F. So how much are these angles? So let's do it again. Corresponding angles. So C here, if I slide this line down horizontally in the same direction, keeping the same slope, C is going to be, it's going to land right here. So if I slide this line down, all the way down, C is going to land right here. And then B is going to land right here. So how much is E? How much is F? This is F. This is E. How much is those? How many degrees we have? 126. It's like Veronica. That's what's up. Jess, 24. 126. India, 126. All right. So, Shafiq Shah. I'm having a hard time with your name. Yeah, 126. Your first answer was good. 54 is not. So 126, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, 126. So, yeah, so all of these angles are 126. So A is equal to E is equal to F. Now, as we saw when we first started doing this, as we saw, it's only 2 sets of angles that are possible. So it's one of them is 54 degrees, and the other one is 126. So the way you go about this is, to summarize, the first thing that we do, we went into vertical angles. Vertical angles always equal to, so if they give you one angle, whatever is vertical to it is going to be the same. So they give me A, whatever the vertical angle to A, whatever that is, 54, that was 54. And after that, you can go to corresponding angles. You go to corresponding angles, you say, okay, if I drop this line down, what's going to be corresponds to it? So A was above the line. Whatever H is going to be the same. H is going to be 54. And then you go, hey, H is 54. Whatever is vertical to H is also 54. So H and G are 54. Now you stop, because you've done with all the 54-degree angles. Now you say, okay, what's the other set? The other set of angles is 180 minus 54, because all of the lines, everything here that you consider is 54. This is a line, that means the sum of the angles here are add up to 180. This is 54. This is whatever is left over. 180 minus 54, that gives you 126. And that's what the other ones are. So C and B and F and E are 126. Now that's it. This is all I wanted to do for today. And I know you guys are about to start school, so the plan is to start earlier. So what we're gonna do is, whenever you have questions, you know the number to send the questions to, and then we're gonna 904-299-8417. So what we're gonna do is, when you send the question to those numbers, so we're gonna look at them and then come and solve for it. I know it's gonna be a lot more questions. It's gonna be first come, first serve too. So it's gonna be a lot more questions. So especially if you're in the course or you taking one-on-one tutoring with us, so we'll be able to answer your questions. So we'll go live every Tuesday. I'm trying to find a camera. I bought a bunch of stuff today that it didn't work. I think the YouTube one is good. Facebook is good, but I think TikTok is not the camera for that one. I'm using for that one is not, and also Instagram too is not the best camera. So that's it for today. Let me see if you have any questions, and then I'll probably wrap it up. Let's see. This is geometry, Sophia. Oh. Thank you, Veronica. Said I'm the best math teacher she had in 4 years. Thank you. Jess. Good job, Jess, and Veronica too. It's like Veronica and Jess. Good job. You guys answered a bunch of questions. India too. I'm bad at pronouncing names. India, what names are you trying to pronounce? Let's see. YouTube, Instagram. All right, so. All right, someone asked me to review how to find the slope of a line. So let's do that real quick. And then we're probably going to wrap it up. So let's find the slope of a line. It's probably in the same, someone on Instagram asked me to find how to find the slope of a line. So let's say that you have a graph, a Cartesian graph. So, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. So let's say we have a line here. Let's see. Let me draw a line this way. So there are many ways that you can find it. So let's say you have 2 points on the line. So if you want to find the slope, so let's say you have a point here. Let's say this point is x is equal to 1, y is equal to 0. And then you have a point here, x is equal to 0, y is equal to -2, for example. So these are 2 points. So point A and a point B. So the way you want to do, you go to find the coordinate of the slope of the line. So you take the y, so it's rise over run. So it's the difference in y values divided by the difference in x values. It's not hard. It's different in y values divided by the difference in x values. So what you take the y of one minus the y of the other. But if you started with A, you gotta continue with A. So if you switch it up, you're gonna have a different slope. So I'm showing you what I mean. So I started with the y of the point B. So YB. So the slope, call it M. I don't know why it's M, but that's why they call it YB minus the y coordinate of B minus the y coordinate of A minus the y coordinate of A divided by, because I started with B, the y coordinate of, not the x coordinate of b divided by minus the x coordinate of a. Now you can do it this way, or you can say it's going to be the same thing if I say the slope is the y coordinate of a minus the y coordinate of b divided by the x coordinate of a minus the x coordinate of b. So the main thing is staying consistent. You know, if you started with yb minus ya, xb minus xa. So if somebody can do it before me, let me know what it is. I know Jesse probably gonna do it, or Veronica. So if someone can do it before me, let me know what it is. So what it is the y is the difference in y values divided by the difference in x values. So you find out difference in yb minus ya divided by xb minus xa. So what's the y coordinate of b? Let me see if you guys are smart. What's the y coordinate of b? The y coordinate of b is -2 minus, what's the y coordinate of a? Y coordinate of a is 0. What's the x coordinate of b? The x coordinate of b is 0 minus, what's the x coordinate of a? The x coordinate of a is 1. So the slope m is -2 minus 0 is -2. 0 minus 1 is -1. The slope is a slope of 2, right? It's the same thing if I were to do xa minus ya minus yb divided by xa minus xb. So your difference in y values divided by the difference in x values. So xa, so no, ya, the y coordinate of a, that would give me 1 divided by the y minus the y coordinate of b. So I would say the slope is the y coordinate of a minus the y coordinate of b, 0, divided by, 0. The y coordinate of a is 0, minus the y coordinate of b is -2, because I already had a minus -2. The minus, this minus is, you know, from the formula, minus here. The x coordinate of a, 1, minus 0. 1 minus the x coordinate of b, 0. And you should get the same value. The slope m is equal to 0 minus -2, or negative times a negative is a positive. That gives you 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So that's how you find the slope. So if you have 2 points, difference in y values, rise over run. That's it. Now let's see if you have a question. Actually, this is an SAT question. I've seen that on the SAT. Sam Stir. If you have a specific question, let me know. But this is an SAT question. I never understood how to find slope. This helps out. No problem, Veronica. It's like Veronica, no problem. Yeah, so it's rise over run. Let's see. All right, I think that's all the question. Advanced function class. Sarah Lalia Nage. Thanks. Thank you. This helped a lot. No problem, Veronica. All right, cool. All right. So I think this will do it for you for tonight, guys. I know it's late. Everybody's probably going to sleep. So, so we did a little bit of you know, 2 parallel lines in the transversal. That was geometry, and then we did a little bit of algebra, which is, you know, finding the slope of a line using 2 points. So this is it for tonight, and catch us next time. Next Tuesday, we'll go live every Tuesday. I will try to find a better camera, because what I have for TikTok here is not cutting it. Facebook and YouTube, you guys are good, but I need 2 more cameras that can help me record these. So that's it. Thank you guys.